Hello and welcome to the Wheel of Crime podcast, the podcast that's run by two ladies who play games, shout profanities, and laugh way too often. Also, this podcast does cover topics of sensitive nature, and as such, listener discretion is advised.
Hello, and welcome back to the Wheel of Crime podcast. My name is Jen.
My name is Emily, and I hope nobody can hear that really loud, obnoxious noise of my cat flipping its bowl over for whatever reason in the background.
I'm sure they can hear it.
Wonderful. Stop it!
Every time I'm editing our episodes lately, sometimes in the background I'll just hear, you'll be quiet, but I'll just hear, meow.
I don't know what happened. I went to 3 cats, which apparently... So here's the thing. Now, people were fine, other people who don't live in my home, were fine with me having 2 cats. But now that I have 3 cats, people have assumed that I've, genuinely lost my mind. Which, to be clear, I lost my mind years ago, before the cats.
Yeah, unrelated to getting the cats.
But now it's people are like, Emily, you do know that's, a lot of cats, right? And I'm like... Girl, I live with them. You think I don't know that that's a lot of cats? This was forced upon me. The 3rd one showed up one day. I signed up for 2, is what I did.
Yeah, when given a cat, you can't say no.
Well, that was she literally, I live in the country, she literally showed up at my house and there was literally a coyote trying to eat her. And I'm literally not a pile of human garbage. So obviously she lives with me now.
And now she's really cozy and comfy all the time.
She's very cute. Very cute, but very naughty. And, yeah, it's been a journey. But anyway, so apparently I'm just, 3rd cat means I've gone off the deep end. I just wanted you to know because I feel like that's important information. But...
You're a certified crazy cat lady now. And I did know that about you, but it's nice to have it confirmed.
I do think that was also forced upon me, because I love cats, don't get me wrong. I did not own a single piece of cat decor until I just started being randomly gifted it over the years.
I think I have gifted you so much cat decor.
Dude, every single person who knows me is like, another cat, which I'm not going to argue against, because they're kind of really stinking cute. But yeah, now I'm just surrounded by the physical cats, and then also... a multitude of cat-related items, so I might actually just be crazy, so, no, that's fun.
It's okay, people gift me bird decor, and only bird decor, so I feel like everyone's like, that's her thing, that's all I know about her, that's what we're going with.
The day that I find a bird dressed up as Taylor Swift, it's over for you.
Jesus.
It is over for you. I like a picture, not like an actual bird dressed up as Taylor Swift, I'm not cruel.
Either or.
Yeah, either way, it'll happen, maybe, one day. If it can happen, it will happen. But, Jen, what have you been up to this last week that we can share with our listeners as being something cool, funky, fresh, exciting that you've been up to?
Why don't you go first? Why do I always have to go first? I think you should tell me something interesting first this week.
Well, I've still been keeping up with my workout thing, which is awesome. Can't believe I'm still doing this. I do, but I don't. Jen and I were talking a little bit about this before we recorded today. It's one type of pain when you're not exercising and you're not stretching and just kind of, being a regular person every day. I used to have a very specific kind of back pain that was horrible. But now it's with going to the gym regularly, that pain is gone. But now I have new different pain. But it's a new different, better, pain. I haven't really landed on it yet, but at least I can sleep through the night now, so great success.
I'm always just kind of sore,
That's the thing, it's sore, can be tight and ouchy, but it's not pain. I feel like when I was having back pain before, it was pain, it wasn't soreness. Well, sometimes, but
Yeah, I totally get it.
So there's that, but on the other hand, I have been playing Tomodachi Life just on again, off again for the last however long.
Ooh, tell me what my gal is up to.
So, for you listeners, I have Jen, I have her husband, I have one of our good friends, and myself, and that's it for real people. Everybody else is basically a video game character or a, TV show character or some other random fucking person. So, the deets are basically that Jenn is so in love with John, her husband, which is so cute. He, for whatever reason, misses every single time that she's trying to flirt with him, and is just super enamored and is trying to go on a date with Cassandra from Dragon Age, which I described to Jenn as being like a tall, black-haired, Russian-esque woman, which, you know, I should have seen that coming. Jenn, tall, Russian-esque woman, same thing. And same energy, for
You know
sure.
me. Leggy.
so legs.
That's... Yeah.
You know me.
Just legs for days.
Leggy. That's really funny. And then our good friend, who I'm not going to name on the show because I don't think he's given us permission to out him like that. But currently, Baby No Money.
He doesn't want to be known as one of our friends publicly.
I don't know if he wants to be known as one of our friends. But he is currently in a very loving relationship with Baby No Money, which I really just think that if Baby No Money was my friend in real life, that we could make that happen. So I'm not surprised at all. That feels very fitting. And then my husband, who's also in the game, I should say, as far as real people go, he would be the last one, and I guess Baby No Money. There's like a few of them. So
Baby No Money's not real. He's a celebrity.
Doesn't count. So my me moved in with Solus from Dragon Age, which is also fitting. That's my bald elf. I love him. And Geralt from The Witcher decided to be our roommate. And my husband has been our next door neighbor at our shared accommodation for like, I don't know, this whole time pretty much. And every single day he asks me, can I move away? Like to the other side of the island. He's like, I just want to move away. Can I move in with this person? Can I move in with this person? And I'm like, no. You get to stay here.
I need you close, baby.
Yeah, I love you. You're my husband. We're going to be neighbors. So that's fun. But that's basically it for like the tea, I guess, on what's happening on the island recently. It's been a hot minute. Like I've been keeping track of things, but I haven't been engaging enough in like events that happen in the game, which cause more of like the interpersonal relationship things to happen. But yeah, it's been a journey. I'm trying to remember if there's anything else that happened that was like going on. Yeah, no, nothing too crazy. Those are the big ones where I'm like, oh, the tea. The drama.
Love it. Well, I mean, that's all I'm up to in real life. Just yearning after my husband as he's thirsting after a tall Russian woman. So,
and he has no idea
nothing new to report.
The whole time. But I did find your me some Birkenstocks. So she's...
Hell yeah.
She's got the drip. She's ready.
Does she still have green hair?
No, I told her it was ugly and she changed it back. Jen's me walked up to me when Jenn and I were on the phone last and was like, I want to be stylish and do something different with my hair. And I was like, yeah, girl, get it. Dyed her hair. It wasn't an ugly color. It was a nice color, but it was also a crazy color. And I was like, that's not canon. Go back.
No.
Yeah, negative. Try again. So, that's fine.
That's what I get for trying to branch out.
Right? Sometimes trying something new doesn't always work out.
What if next time you saw me, I had green hair in real life?
Then I would simply have to go back to the me and be like, hey, my guy, listen, I was kind of mean before, but I've really been thinking about it, and maybe we should go back to green.
Hell yeah.
Well, what have you been up to this last week now that I've gone first?
Well, I was hoping to have thought of something, but you distracted me with your stories.
I got good stories.
I have just, me and my mother, here, I have thought of something. There you go. Me and my mother are going to a head spa together this weekend. A Korean head spa.
I'm kind of jealous. I want to go. Tell your mom to stay
Well, if it's good.
No,
if
tell
it's
your
good,
mom
I mean,
to
you
pick
can
me
go
up on
next
the way
time.
down.
She probably would.
I know she would. Your mom's a real G for that. But I do want to hear how it is, because I've been seeing small advertisements for that for a while, and I'm kind of into it. Like, I love a good head massage.
I know. It's only 10 minutes from my house, which is awesome. But yeah, if it's amazing, then we'll definitely go next time you're in town.
Excellent. No, that'll be fun. I'm excited for you. But I think we've already yapped for at least half the time we did last episode. We don't need to talk about... we do not need to talk about Iron Flame again, even though we probably could.
We definitely could.
But I do know that you have a story for me. So should we spin our wheel of questions?
Hell yeah.
All right.
Gun to your head, you are forced to participate in a sports tournament. Which sport are you performing in? Preferably the one that you think you'll do the best in.
I love that you had to add in gun to your head because you know exactly how I feel about sports. You're like, you will be forced. And you do have to pick something.
You have to pick something. Option to not participate is not available.
Oh God, a sport?
Yeah.
This is dumb. What are there for sports? I know there's basketball.
I would do tennis.
Basketball. That makes sense for you. I feel like you've kind of warmed into tennis though in the last like couple years.
Yeah, I would do tennis. I could do a boxing tournament, even though I think I would get beat up.
I think that's just called a boxing match.
Yeah.
We would just have to put the gloves on your feet, and you would kill it out there.
Kickboxing.
Yes! I love how my first thought was, yeah, just put your hand gloves on your feet, not an entirely different sport. Oh,
it's
God.
because I have legs of steel, everyone, okay? That's why.
Jen is the strongest legs on any human being I've ever seen. They're crazy.
Thanks, Em. You're my biggest supporter.
I am. I will never stop talking about your legs. Like I said, big fan.
Leggy.
Leggy. So, sport.
Sport.
I feel like...
What sport?
I feel like I'm decent enough at badminton. But that's honestly the only other sport I can think of where I've been like I've done a tournament style with it.
Have you considered pickleball or biking?
No. I am neither a pickle nor am I a biker. Those are two things that are on the very bottom of my list. I've had so many people tell me
you are a lot of pickle.
See,
the amount of vinegar that you've eaten, you've pickled your insides by now.
I'm pickled. Don't get me wrong. I've been pickle. As long as I've been a crazy cat lady, I've also been pickle. There's just something about pickleball. I don't know. I don't really know anything about it, but I've had so many people in my life, just in the last year especially, be like, pickleball, that it's almost driven me away.
The pickleball push has been crazy.
Yeah, I've been driven away from wanting to play pickleball because of how many people have been so pickleball to me about it. I'm like, no. And then biking because fuck that shit. Unless
we did that enough as children.
Yeah, I'm good. I've done my time, I think. I got my license. That shit was over as soon as that happened.
Basically. All right, so you're going with badminton.
I think so.
No, do tennis with me.
I can do tennis with you. I feel like badminton and tennis are pretty close. I'm just, for whatever reason, having a really hard time with picturing sports. The only ones I can think of are like soccer, football, basketball, and volleyball. That's it. That's all I can remember.
Apparently. All right, well, let's move to our next question.
Yes, please.
If you had to make an anonymous name on social media, like an anonymous username, what would it be?
An anonymous username. I feel like the point of an anonymous username is to have it so different from your actual name that people would not be able to find you. So I think I would pick a username that is based off of just something that I like, but that most people probably wouldn't know that I like, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Like a thing, or like a food, or like a whatever, right?
Right. Well, like, I mean, I don't know if I want to say it.
What?
Mine, on TikTok, it was originally meant to be an anonymous name, but now I post there, so that's kind of null and void at this point.
Right.
It's Agnes Varda Potato, referencing the director Agnes Varda when she made a documentary about potato farming, and to the red carpet event, she showed up dressed as a giant potato.
You know, what's funny? I was at Comic-Con like a month ago, and I saw somebody dressed up in your Halloween costume when you went that one year as this weird potato lady. Does that make sense?
You saw someone dressed up as Agnes Varda?
I did at Comic-Con, and I remember seeing it and thinking I had to tell you because I was like, this is totally referencing this thing that Jen knows everything about that I know nothing about.
The funny thing is, I never actually went as that. The photo that you've seen is me I photoshopped my face on top of Agnes Varda wearing the costume.
This whole time, I thought that was a Halloween costume you came up with.
No.
I love that this was such an iconic moment for you that this was like, you're like a hidden identity. You're like, yes, I will be Potato Lady.
I will be Agnes Varda Potato.
You will be Agnes Varda Potato.
But now everyone on the show knows, so I guess it's not very anonymous anymore.
Anonymous.
To just us and Heather. Us and Heather know.
Yeah, and that's it. But I don't know. I feel like, I would really put a lot of thought into it and pick something like a little bit out there so that I could not be easily tracked and traced would be mine. I feel like yours is really good though for like anonymity.
So what would
as your
yours
best
be?
friend,
You have to pick
I would
one.
not even have been able to find you if you didn't tell me.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. It was perfect until I started actually posting and I ruined it.
It happens, I guess.
Okay, well, what's yours, Em? You gotta pick one.
An anonymous name?
For a social handle.
Okay,
John Smith 12345.
I mean, nobody would find me. No, I feel like I'm very aesthetically focused. I would pick something like, sepia... I almost said salmon skin. No.
That would be crazy.
See, I don't like that.
Yes. I love sepia salmon skin. I think you should change your real
like
socials to
sepia
that.
salmon skin 444 or something, you know?
It's iconic.
No, I feel like I would go with sure, we'll just sepia I don't know, now I'm kind of into it. I'm gonna be sepia salmon skin 444.
I love it. Let's spin for our next question. What is currently your favorite country song? Casey Musgraves just came out with a new album, and I've really been loving that. So I'd probably pick something from that album as mine.
Makes sense.
But I don't listen to a ton of country.
Yeah, I haven't listened to a ton of country historically, but I do listen to it. So occasionally I'll hear one and then kind of put it into my rotation where I'm like, oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. I would say the most recent country song I've been listening to is Where the Wild Things Are by Luke Combs.
Okay. I don't think I've heard that one.
I like it because it's sad.
That checks out for you.
Yeah, it's a country song. It's basically like a dude who's singing about being the little brother, and his older brother moved to like LA to like live the big shot life, and he's being wild and crazy in LA, and he goes to visit him, and his brother is just like their dad. He likes to smoke the same things, and I think the insinuation there is that their dad's been dead a long time, so when he sees his brother, it's like seeing his dad again. And rides the same kind of motorcycles and does all these things. And then literally the last stanza of the song, if you guys want to listen to the song and then figure this out yourself, skip this next part, is like him talking about like getting the phone call that his brother's motorcycle hit the median and he died on impact, and like flying out to LA to visit his brother, but this time his brother's dead. And stuff, and I was like, this is really fucking sad. Oh my god.
Okay, well that's depressing.
But I feel like most country songs are a little bit depressing. Is your one by Casey Musgraves like that? Because I feel like Casey Musgraves usually does like a lot of like romance, slow life type songs.
I mean, my favorite song by her is probably Deeper Well at the moment, which is from her last album. But from this new album, I'm really liking Middle of Nowhere, which is the title track.
Okay. Maybe I'll give it a listen to later, because I've not listened to Casey Musgrave. Whoa.
Muskrat.
Yeah, in probably years, I think. It's been a long time for me.
Yeah. All right, well, let's spin for our final question.
Yes, Captain.
If your family was going to describe a talent that you had, what would it be? And you can't say nothing.
No, my first thought was to be sassy, which was picking fights.
They would say that about you.
They would. No, I'm trying to think of something legit that they actually have asked me to help them with. But I'll say one. I'm like 60% sure I've said this on the show before, but it's small enough I doubt anybody remembers this. I do have a very weird talent, specifically for side-to-side Mario games. It does not matter, any Mario game of the entire franchise, as long as it's one of those ones where it's just a flat 2D game and Mario gets to go left or right. I'm just very weirdly good at them.
You know what? That makes sense, because not even a 2D Mario game. I've never won a game of Mario Kart against this bitch.
That's the thing. It's specifically like, I used to also be absurdly good at Mario Party until we started playing more Mario Party with our one good friend that we don't talk about on the show for his privacy, I guess. He kicks my
because
ass.
He hates us?
Yeah, because he just thinks we're terrible people, I guess. I like that we're just giving him all these opinions and he's no idea what we're talking about. No, he is weirdly good at Mario Party. But yeah, I've been like historically very good at Mario Kart, which that takes practice though. Like I would say these days I'm not like the freshest I've been, but a couple weeks ago I did go play Mario Kart with some friends of mine after having not picked up Mario Kart pretty much since, well, I guess I played Mario Kart World when the Switch 2 came out, but before that it had been years. Like it's not like it's something I do every day. And I got first place because I'm pretty cool. But no, the sidewinding Mario...
You're just so good.
Right? But the sidewinding Mario, I'm pretty sure is because it was my first ever game that I received was Super Mario World on the Game Boy Advance when I was a kid. So I've been like 5 or 6 playing that game just constantly. And it must have routed something in my brain where it's just like, yeah, this is your one thing you can do really well, and that is not applicable to real life situations whatsoever.
Core memory.
Yeah, core memory, core subconscious memory. You know
exactly.
It's deep in the brain folds. But what is your special talent?
I feel like if you ask my husband, he would say my special talent is finding really cheap flights, which I do think I'm pretty good at.
You are. I depend on it, actually. There are a lot of things in my life that hinge specifically on your ability to find cheap flights.
It's true.
Oh, that's funny.
And I think my parents would also probably agree with that nowadays, because they also heavily rely on it.
Listen, I don't know how you do it, but I am so envious, especially when I'm like traveling with other people who aren't you, and they're like, we're gonna go with these, and I'm like, that feels kind of expensive. Whereas like with you, I'm like, hell yeah. Fuck yeah, she did.
Listen, I refuse to pay a premium for a terrible experience.
Exactly. But no, I feel honestly that's a very applicable adult skill. I don't know how you picked up that one, but I'm thankful for it every day.
It was during my minimalism era. I don't know what I absorbed there, but something really stuck.
Well, I mean, it could be trauma.
Probably.
I feel like
I had no
usually...
things, so I needed other things to focus on.
Yeah, I was like, I feel like minimalism era and trauma are kind of like, Ooh, I feel like this might be the same thing.
It was a formative time for me, for sure. But anyways.
Me too.
What do you think my story is about today?
Oh, God. I have to be very vague because I always fail. My issue is that we talk so much that I forget what the questions were. Crime.
Correct, 100% this time.
Yay! Oh my god, this never happens, guys.
Oh my gosh. All right. Well, today we're talking about Cody Legebokoff. And he was born on January 21st, 1990, and raised in Fort St. James, a little rural municipality in British Columbia.
Ooh.
A Canadian crime for us today.
A whole hometown almost. I'm trying to remember if I've ever driven through Fort St. James, because I've done a lot of driving through Canada, but I don't think I have. Is it in northern BC? Maybe.
Do you think I know directions?
You know, that's on me. That is not either of our special talent is knowing directions. So that's fair.
No one would ever accuse me of having a good sense of direction.
I like how you say accuse. Not like a compliment or no. We'll rest on BC somewhere. Okay, I feel good on this. Yep.
Same. So Cody was described by friends, family, and school officials as a popular and well-adjusted young man from a good home who showed no inclination for violence. He was active in sports throughout his youth, competing in ice hockey, downhill skiing, and snowboarding during high school in Fort St. James. He also participated in the 2002 Challenge Cup, an annual international hockey tournament in Vancouver. His grandfather said, quote, "He had a good upbringing. Everything was perfect. I hunted with him. I fished with him. We did everything, and he was a perfectly normal child. He was no different than you or I when we were younger." School officials confirmed this sentiment, saying that he was well liked by his peers. He was very good at sports, saying, quote, "Cody has a very loving family and caring parents, siblings, and a large extended family in the region," said Said Filet-O-Fish. Said Filet-O-Fish. No, Ray Lemoyne, superintendent of Cody's school district. Very different than Filet-O-Fish.
Said quote, McDonald's spokesburger.
Oh my god, we're up to such a rough start.
Yeah, that was good. I'm having fun.
Quote, "In school, he was well liked by his peers and he was very good at sports. He played minor hockey at all levels and belonged to the downhill ski and snowboard team. Sources say that Cody had a minor criminal record, but he was not known to the police in his youth, and I honestly couldn't even find any more information about this potential or alleged minor criminal record that he had, so I'm not even quite sure what that means."
Okay. I feel like, because you said minor criminal record, right?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like usually that's referencing things like petty theft.
Like petty theft.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I have no confirmation, so take it with a grain of salt.
Okay.
The RCMP said, quote, "He wasn't known to us. He had a minor criminal record, if anything at all." Okay. So, like, did he or did he not? That's what I want to know.
Right. That's
the police are not giving me firm answers here.
That's very wishy-washy. To me, that says, because if I'm remembering correctly, I feel like that's got to be a small town or something. To me, what this says is known by the police, not formally known as a juvenile delinquent, like not formally charged with anything, is kind of what this is saying to me.
That's the vibe it's giving me as well.
Yeah.
So after graduating from Fort St. James Secondary School in 2008, Cody spent some time living in Lethbridge, Alberta, before moving to Prince George, British Columbia. There, he worked at a Ford dealership as a mechanic and lived in an apartment with 3 close female friends. He was dating a young lady who was studying at the College of New Caledonia, and in his spare time, Cody frequently used social media and online networking sites to connect with others. He used the handle, quote, "One Country Boy" on Nexopia, which, woof, Nexopia.
What? For some reason I'm picturing Neopets. That's not right. Right?
That is not right at all.
I just wanted to confirm because it's been a hot minute since I've heard the name Nexopia.
So Nextopia was a prominent Canadian social media website. It launched in 2003, and it was popular with youth in the 2000s for custom profiles, blogs, forums, photo galleries. It was founded in Edmonton. I don't know if you remember this story that I did on the MLM sex cult that had the actress from Supergirl, or what was that show called?
No, I think you're right, because she was, like, blonde.
No, it wasn't Supergirl. It was,
It's been a hot minute,
Allison.
but I do vaguely remember this episode. It
Yeah. So
from
the
last year, I think, or the year before.
yeah, it was Nixium. What's the, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, it's basically a site that it was kind of like MySpace, but it ended up being used by a lot of fucking pedophiles.
Gotcha. Cool.
And like people having inappropriate relationships with kids and teens or whatever. Allegedly. I'm just going to put that out there, allegedly. Right. So it got shut down.
Okay.
Very popular out east as well. In Ontario. I think it was more popular out in Ontario.
Interesting. Okay.
Yes. So anyways, his profile reflected a persona tied to rural life, even including lyrics from the song Backwoods, referencing working hard and life in the backwoods. It said, quote, out in the backwoods, working hard. Very deep.
Right.
I know.
Very passionately country boy.
Yes, a very passionate country boy. So, despite this outwardly normal life, there would be a pattern of violence that dated back to 2009 when Cody turned around 19. And I can't prove it, but once I tell you the events that took place, I have an inclination that it's possible he had some violent behavior before then too, but that's my own speculation.
Gotcha. Okay.
So Jill Stacy Stakencho was a 35-year-old mother of 6 who had been described as a talented singer by those who knew her best. She was last seen on October 9th, 2009. She was later found dead in a gravel pit on the outskirts of Prince George, and her body had been badly beaten and partially buried. Cody's DNA was later found on Jill's body, and her DNA was found inside of his apartment.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Nearly a year later, Natasha Lynn Montgomery, a 23-year-old mother of 2, was last seen on August 31st or September 1st of 2010. She previously lived in Quinsel, BC, though she was living in Prince George after spending time in jail. Her family said she was close to her children and frequently made the trip by bus to Penticton to visit relatives. Her body has never been found, but her DNA was discovered in numerous locations throughout Cody's apartment and even on items connected to him. Her DNA was most notably found on a pickaxe that was in his possession.
Oh, I don't like that. I feel like it's not often you tell me of, they never found the body, but all of her DNA is in his house and on his pickaxe. That's horrifying.
A pickaxe is an especially brutal murder weapon.
Oh, 100%. How do I say this? I feel like there's certain instruments of violence that we become desensitized to because they come up so frequently, like axes or shovels or hammers,
knives
or knives, whatever. Yeah, a pickaxe is a choice. That like none of it sits well with me, obviously, but it's jarringly different enough that it's kind of like a little bit extra sick, if that makes sense.
Totally understandable. So, just days later, 35-year-old Cynthia Frances Mass was last seen on September 10th, 2010. Her body was discovered the following month in a wooded park in Prince George. Cynthia died of blunt force trauma to the head and penetrating wounds. She had a hole in her shoulder blade, a broken jaw and cheekbone, her injuries to her neck consistent with someone stomping on it. The murder weapon used on Cynthia was identified as a pickaxe.
I was
The
going
same
to
one.
say, a hole in her shoulder? Fuck, dude.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's the same one that also had Natasha's DNA on it.
This man's crazy. I mean, obviously, not a sane person is going around and doing these horrific acts of violence to a woman. But to go in on somebody with a pickaxe and their neck is stomped to shit, like, what is this guy's problem? And he lives with 3 women. Like, this is unfathomable. Like, to me, like, not to say that women's intuition is like a slam dunk on like scoping out bad behavior, but to me this is such a insidious red flag for 3 women to be living with him, which obviously in some capacity has to be a comfortable living arrangement, otherwise that would not be a thing. And then for him to be doing these things is just, like I said, sickening.
It's horrifying. So Cynthia's DNA was also found in Cody's residence. Her family has later said that she was a victim of violence since she was young, and they wanted the headlines to focus on the underlying issues that put Indigenous women in danger. So they really didn't want to focus on, the trouble that she had in her life, but more the systemic problems that put people in those situations.
Oh,
which
of course, yes.
I think is really valid.
Yeah. Well, there's so many things, right? It's you're taking into consideration factors that lead into not just her, but other Aboriginal women who end up in similarly violent situations, which happens, unfortunately, a lot. It is something that needs to be talked about.
Could not agree more. So, according to court records, Jill, Natasha, and Cynthia had all worked in the sex trade. Allegedly, Cody was addicted to cocaine and used sex workers to obtain the drug. The victims were described as vulnerable with struggles that included poverty and addiction. Then, on November 27th, 2010, 15-year-old Lauren Dawn Leslie was murdered. Lauren was significantly younger than the other victims and allegedly met Cody online through Nexopia. She was legally blind, having one completely blind eye and 50% vision in her other. The trial heard that Lauren had been diagnosed with post-traumatic depression and bipolar disorder and was prescribed medication, though her family insisted she was not suicidal. Lauren lived with her mother in Vanderhoof, BC, more than 100 kilometers west of Prince George. She was described as happy and lighthearted at times. She is included in the list of murder victims found along the Highway of Tears in northern British Columbia.
As soon as you brought up Prince George, I was curious on if this was going to be a Highway of Tears story, because the amount of women, especially women who are First Nations or young women who go missing on the Highway of Tears is just absolutely insane. I don't know if that would be a episode topic we could cover one day, just because there is so many of them. But if not, if anybody's listening to the show and is curious, if you search it up, it is a thing. It's a highway in Canada that is known for women who end up murdered and missing, specifically along that highway.
Yeah, not a good place to find yourself.
No, especially not as a woman. It's one of the most dangerous places in Canada you could possibly be.
Yeah, it's really sad.
It sucks too. It's ugly. I've been there. In the car, thankfully. But it's one of those things where you're there and you're like, wow. Like, it doesn't give you, like, you wouldn't know unless somebody told you what it was.
Yeah. So, on November 27th, 2010, at approximately 9:45 p.m., rookie RCMP Constable Aaron Keller observed Cody pulling his truck onto British Columbia Highway 27 from a remote logging road near Vanderhoof. Constable Aaron noted that the 2004 GMC pickup was speeding erratically and found it suspicious that someone would be coming from that area so late at night in freezing November conditions. Acting on a hunch, he initiated a traffic stop, suspecting possible poaching. A second officer arrived to assist, And Mark Nielsen, who was the Prince George Citizen Court reporter during Cody's trial, said, quote, "I'm not an expert on this stuff, but it's not the first time a traffic cop has busted open a case. He was driving a purse back to Vanderhoof that a woman had forgotten in Fort St. James when he saw the bouncing light of Cody's truck and he noticed the erratic driving. He was trying to get away from the scene, and that's how he got caught."
Right.
So, during the search of Cody's truck, officers discovered a multi-tool and a wrench covered in blood, along with a monkey backpack and a wallet containing a children's hospital card with the name Lauren Leslie on it. So, Cody had also had blood on him. The shorts that he was wearing at the time of his arrest were stained with Natasha's blood. So, one of the previous victims.
What the fuck is going on? Also, how old did you say the child victim was?
15.
That's so young. And that is so heartbreaking. A monkey backpack and a hospital tag. Like, seriously.
Yeah, I know. Jesus Christ. Like,
So
none of them are
sad.
good, but like, the ones with kids really do get to me.
Well, it's hard because there's that layer of innocence, and not to say not having innocence makes it, not as bad, but it's almost like it's just a more heinous way of taking advantage of somebody's victimhood.
Mm-hmm. So when questioned, he allegedly said that he was poaching and had clubbed a deer to death because, quote, "I'm a redneck and that's what we do for fun." However, there was no deer carcass in the truck.
Jesus Christ. Here's the thing. I'm not a redneck. I've never gone hunting before in my life. If somebody came up to me and they said, "I clubbed a deer to death," you best believe I am not believing that motherfucker, because the amount of force
And they're going to
take,
jail.
Yeah, for a singular person to go ham on a deer for whatever reason is more than you would think. That's a lie. That's a straight up, bald-faced lie.
Hell yes,
Get the
it
deer when it was
was.
sleeping? That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard of in my life.
They thought so too, so this prompted the Mounties to call a conservation officer to investigate further. Cody was arrested right then and there under the Canada Wildlife Act. The officer followed the tire tracks and footprints left in the fresh snow along the logging road. Those tracks led directly to the remains of Lauren Dawn Leslie, found in a snowy gravel pit. So, after his arrest in connection with Lauren's death, DNA analysis linked him to the murders of Jill, Cynthia, and Natasha. At the time, police weren't ruling out the possibility that Cody could be linked to even more killings, as they confirmed the murders weren't related to the Highway of Tears investigation of 18 women who have gone missing along Highway 16 from Prince George to Prince Rupert since 1969.
Which is still an issue. The thing I forgot to mention earlier is if you are driving on the Highway of Tears, the billboards they have up of all of the murdered and missing women is haunting. It's everywhere, and it's always a different woman.
I know. So when Cody's friends and family heard the news of his arrest, it's safe to say that they were quite shocked. Quote, "Everybody liked him. There wasn't a person that had a bad thing to say about him. Nobody," said his grandfather, who last saw Cody a month before his November 2010 arrest when he showed up at Thanksgiving with his girlfriend. "There's a split personality or something wrong in his head. He needs a doctor to help him." Which, if your grandparent is saying that about you, there's something really wrong.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that.
It's a crazy statement.
It is, for sure. But also, it's like I was saying earlier, for somebody to be able to commit these things in the first place, there's definitely something fucked up going on in there. But it is always extra unsettling to me when there are visibly no signs from anybody who spends any significant amount of time with them being like, they've never said this, they've never done this.
I don't know. It is kind of scary thinking, he had 3 roommates and none of them suspected anything.
But that's what I mean. Or, like, he clearly spends a lot of time with his family if he had just seen his grandfather the month before. It's almost like in previous cases you've covered with people who kind of escalate into,
murder.
Like murder or, like, extreme acts of physical violence. There's always an escalation, right? It starts with smaller animals, or it starts with, harming innocence or something, like something who either can't talk or can't speak for itself, whatever, and then it escalates from there, which typically is something that family members or people who spend a lot of time with them clock, right? Because if your child is torturing a squirrel, you would probably know.
See, and I'm not trying to insinuate anything by this, but I genuinely wonder if maybe hunting was some sort of an outlet for him to do
I
that.
didn't even consider that.
Unnoticed.
Probably. Again, like, I understand what you mean by not insinuating. I feel like hunting is something that people do for a lot of different reasons. But I could also see that if somebody, say, does have these tendencies where they have a requirement for a violent outlet, whether that's for some sort of mental illness type reason or a different type of reason, that hunting would be one of those things that I would consider.
Yeah. So friends, most of them asking not to be named, began lining up to defend Cody. Quote, Cody has always been in the wrong place at the wrong time. This could have been one of those moments, wrote someone identifying themselves as CJRM on the website for CK, oh my gosh, CPKG TV. Wow. The news channel in Prince George. He is a great buddy of mine, and I wouldn't hesitate for 1 second to get in a vehicle with him and go cruising. He was my two-stepping partner nights we would go out dancing. I have seen him in bar fights, and I have pissed that boy off a few good times, and not once had he ever shown any signs to lose his mind and kill me or anyone else.
Well,
another
Dave,
friend.
Are you a woman?
Yeah,
not
that's
to
what I'm saying.
Not to, necessarily
Discredit them?
disagree, because obviously I am not an implication in this, like an implicated person in this case. But if you're sitting there and being like, well, I goes two-stepping with him and he's never been violent to me, it's like, you're a guy.
Like, he's got no beef with you.
Read the room. Look at the people he's hurt.
He's primarily picking on women who have children, like single moms, women who are in vulnerable positions.
Exactly. And it's like, are you a single mom? Then yeah, you're probably safe. Like, I don't know what to tell you.
Another friend who knew Cody in school told the Vanderhoof Omatica Express that, quote, he was very sociable and kind-hearted, didn't hurt others. But the friend added that Cody disappeared for a while shortly before Leslie's murder. He went missing for a few weeks before the murder, like right before, and he didn't tell anyone where he went. He just disappeared.
And nobody thinks that's weird? Like, I don't get that. Like, he's totally fine. He just fucked off for a month somewhere. Okay,
and
like,
no one heard from him.
Yeah, but we're, like, really good friends. But, yeah, I don't know what happened to him. Men drive me crazy. What do you mean that your friend went missing for a month and you're like, he's just a guy? Who knows what he...
But he's great.
Guy. Who am I to ask him where he was for a month? It's so stupid.
Yeah. So Lauren's grandma, Kathleen Leslie, knew Cody's grandparents in Fort St. George prior to her granddaughter's murder, which is kind of a weird connection.
Ooh, weird, yeah.
So Kathleen said that she could never say anything bad about Cody's family. Quote, the hard part is anyone that knew him would never suspect for 1 minute that anything like this would go on, Kathleen said. Cody's trial on 4 counts of first-degree murder was originally scheduled to begin in September 2013, but it was delayed multiple times before finally starting in June 2014. He pleaded not guilty to all 4 counts, and during the trial, Cody testified in his own defense. He admitted that he was quote-unquote involved in 3 of the deaths, but denied committing the murders. He claimed that a drug dealer and 2 accomplices, whom he referred to as X, Y, and Z were responsible for the killings. He stated that he did not want to name them because he did not want to go to prison with a reputation as a rat. Which, what a fucking coward.
Here, let me just blame fictional drug kings. Or
Yeah,
dealers
a fictional unnamed people.
Who killed these people, but obviously is not me. Like, I'm a slime ball, but I'm not a murderous slime ball. Get the fuck out of here.
So, in the case of Lauren, Cody claimed that they had met up and had sex, which is disgusting because he's at least 19, 20 years old at this point, and this is a 15-year-old girl.
Yeah.
Gross.
Yuck.
He admitted to hitting her with a pipe wrench, but allegedly that she inflicted the fatal injuries upon herself. He claimed that she used a knife to bludgeon and stab herself to death, which... Is he hearing the words?
He's pissing me off. Oh, yeah, you know, the 15-year-old. Oh, yeah, you know, like, she just went crazy on herself. You know 15-year-olds.
I did rape her and hit her with a pipe wrench, but I didn't murder her.
Yeah, mostly blind 15-year-olds, you know? You give them weapons and they just go crazy. Like, what are you talking about? You genuine psychopath. Literally, what are you talking about? Also, by the way, last I checked, she is not a single mom with kids. Not that that makes a huge difference, but it's like, you're saying this about a child again.
Yeah.
In case you forgot.
It's just an insane explanation that makes absolutely no sense. So,
the more he talks, the more he sounds like a narcissistic, giant, gaping asshole. Like, it's just, every time he opens up his mouth, I'm like, oh, you're crazy. Like, man,
yeah.
you're cuckoo banana, crazy crack, crazy.
Agreed. So immediately before the judge delivered instructions to the jury, Cody attempted to plead guilty to second-degree murder. The Crown rejected this plea, and the judge instructed the jury that they could consider the attempt as an admission. Which, go off, judge. We love that for you.
That's good.
The jury...
I feel like sometimes the judge makes a call and we're like, what? I'm here for it.
No complaints. The jury was also told they could still convict Cody of the first-degree murder even if they believed that others were involved, as long as they were satisfied that he aided in the killings. Mm-hmm. So on September 11th, 2014, Cody was found guilty on all 4 counts of first-degree murder, and on September 16th, he was sentenced to life in prison with no possibility of parole for 25 years. He was also added to the National Sex Offender Registry due to the sexual assaults committed during the murders and the degradation of the victims' bodies. The judge stated that, quote, he lacks any shred of empathy or remorse. He should never be allowed to walk among us again. He is one of Canada's youngest convicted serial killers, and his trial drew national attention. The case produced 95,000 pages of evidence, involved 4,000 contacts by investigators, and featured testimony from 195 police witnesses. Quote, it was mostly lab techs holding up test tubes and the continuity of evidence, according to Mark Nielsen, the Prince George Citizens Court reporter. Anyone who had contact with Cody was willing to get up on the stand and tell their story. Mark later interviewed Lauren's dad, Doug Leslie, several times outside of Prince George Courthouse during the trial and recalled how deeply affected he was by the loss of his daughter. He said, quote, Doug went through a lot and it was all he could do to keep it together. Now that he's passed, Doug died of lung cancer. On March 15th, I remember he asked the cops, just give me 5 minutes with him.
But also, it's so sad. And also, I totally get it.
Yeah. I mean, as a parent, as a friend, as a whatever, I can totally understand wanted to beat the shit out of someone who murdered someone that close to you.
Well, more than that. I think at that point you're looking at, you took the life of somebody who genuinely was...
meant something.
yeah, who meant something and was a good person, and you're a piece of shit, I'm gonna kill you.
I was trying to put it a little bit more delicately.
You're literally gonna be dead in the next 10 minutes once I get my hands on you. And I don't know, stuff like this, whenever, like you said, parents who of the affected, are like, please just let him at him. There is such a part of me that wants to be like, yeah,
let him at him.
He should. That should be his right, is to just beat the shit out of that guy. If you don't want him dead, then pull him off. Who gives a fuck?
Not that we condone violence, but we understand when people feel
we don't
a certain
violence,
type of way.
But we do understand violence.
Yes. So in February 2015, Cody filed an appeal arguing issues related to the change of venue and his illegal representation. In September 2016, the Court of Appeal upheld the original conviction and the trial judge's decision. Cody was initially imprisoned in Kent Institution, a maximum security prison, before being transferred in 2019 to Warkworth Institution, a medium security facility. And dude is still in prison. Thank God.
Well, I mean, good. He needs to stay there forever, but...
yeah.
At least they got him.
And that's my story.
Yay.
It's a depressing one.
That is depressing. Haunting, though, also, that he had so many people in his life be, like, standing up for him, being like, he's a great guy! He would never do that! After killing 4 people.
One of them literally a child.
Right. Like, that's just so... It'll never not be disgusting, obviously, as with most of your stories. But it's just also insane to me how there can be that much support for somebody who did these things.
Who's so shitty.
And obviously did these things. This isn't a question of, oh, you know, the evidence was mishandled or whatever. It's like, no, he literally had blood and a pickaxe in his fucking house. And all these things.
He was literally wearing shorts in November that were stained with his victim's blood that he killed in September.
Shorts in November is psychotic enough. And then you add in everything else, and it's like, this is the guy that you're standing up for and being like, he's a great guy. What are you talking about?
No.
Literally, what are you talking about?
I don't get it. But people, I think it's hard for people to accept that someone they know could do something like this.
Yeah, but knowing somebody is not the same thing as understanding somebody.
It's true. I don't think a lot of people recognize there's a distinction, though.
Thanks for making me mad.
Good night.
Yeah. I had my piece. I said my piece. But if you liked today's episode, make sure to leave us a review on wherever you're listening to our podcast. We also have a website, which is www.wheelofcrime.com. You can check us out on there. We are also on Patreon. Wheel of Crime at Patreon. We have our email, which is wheelofcrime@gmail.com. We have our social media, which is on Facebook, Instagram, X, and TikTok, all at Wheel of Crime. And lastly, if you listen to today's episode and you were like, this totally reminds me of another story that I know about some fucking guy that everybody hates, or at least that Em and Jen would probably hate, you could write in and tell us all about it and potentially get a feature on our next Listener Stories episode. We do them throughout the year, so if you write in and use our Google form up on our social media, you can get the chance to be featured on our next Listener Story episode.
Yes, and that's it. That's all. We'll see you next week for another new episode. Okay, bye.
Bye.